Hey there and welcome back to the channel. It's Bryson with Dimes for Dollars here, and in today's hunt we have two more boxes of pennies. Boxes 107 and 108. 41 holes left to fill. So hopefully we can find something today. You never know. These older coins are pretty hard to find. If I went ahead and popped the top and I don't see any enders, we'll flip it over, check the other side for any enders, and get right into the hunt. Two rolls in and we've got our first wheat cent of the hunt. This one's going to be a 1958 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we've got wheat cent number 2, and this one's going to be a 1952 out of Denver. Very next roll again, and we got two more wheat cents. The one up front is going to be a 1957 out of Denver, and back here, second wheat cent of the roll. That one's going to be a 1955, also out of Denver. Roll number 6, and we have wheat cent number 5 already. This one's going to be a pretty nice looking 1958 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we got our first 40s wheat cent of the hunt. This one's going to be a 1940 out of Denver. Roll number 8, and we have another 40s find, a 1946 Denver. Roll number 9, and we got our first pre-40s find. We have a 1938 out of Philadelphia. In pretty nice shape too. That's a really nice find, especially this early. Wheat cent number 8. Roll number 10, and I was opening up the roll and I noticed this really odd coin here. You can see it's gold colored. Doesn't appear to be plated, but let's see what the coin is. And it's going to be a Bahamas coin, 1 cent with a starfish. That's odd. I don't know too much about this. Let me look at it online and see what makes it so gold, because it definitely doesn't look like it's plated with anything. I'll be right back and we'll see what it is. Well, I went ahead and looked it up on Numista, and it actually is a different composition. It's nickel brass, which is 79% copper, 20% zinc, and 1% nickel. That's what gives it its yellow color. Now, what I found really interesting about this coin is there's actually two different mints, and one is very familiar to me. It's FM, the Franklin Mint. I know them as makers of silver rounds, so it's kind of neat to see that they also made circulating coinage for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Our coin's going to be a 1977, so I went ahead and looked on the mintages here, and since it's not the FM, it's going to have a mintage of 3 million compared to 60,000 for the FM. Either way, they're not terribly valuable, but it's still a really neat piece of foreign coinage. So it's pretty neat. Nice little addition for the collection. And let's get back to the hunt. Roll number 11, and we have another 50s find, a 1956 out of Denver. Roll number 12, and we've got wheat cents number 10 and 11. We have a 1955 out of Denver up front here. And right back here, second wheat cent of the roll. And this one's going to be a 1951 out of San Francisco. Roll 14, and we've got another 40s find. This one's going to be a 1948 San Francisco. Roll 16, and we have another 40s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1946 out of Denver. Roll 21, and we have another find from the 40s. This one's going to be a 1946 out of Philadelphia. Roll 22, and we've got wheat cent number 15 already. This one's going to be a 1958 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we've got another wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1952 from Denver. Halfway point of the box, and we got another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1950 out of Philadelphia. Roll 31, and we have another 40s find. This one's going to be a 1947 out of San Francisco. Very next roll, and we've got a find we don't see too often. We've got an old Canadian cent, King George VI on the obverse. Let's see what the date is. And that one's going to be 1945. Awesome. World War II era. Another really cool find. We've got two really neat foreign coins so far, and plenty of rolls left to go. Roll number 33, and we have another 50s wheat cent, a 1952 out of Philly. Roll 36, and we got wheat cent number 20. This one's going to be a 1958 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we've got wheat cent number 21, and this one's going to be a 1952 out of Denver. Roll 39, and we've got two more wheat cents. We have a 1958 out of Denver up front here, and back here wheat cent number 2, and this one's going to be a 1956, also Denver. Very next roll, and we have another 50s wheat cent, a 1950 out of San Francisco. Roll 41, and we've got two more wheat cents. At the front we have a 1944 out of Denver, and back here wheat cent number 2, and this one's going to be a 1945 Denver. Two more 40s finds, definitely can't be mad at that. 9 rolls left to go in box 1. Very next roll, and we have another 50s find, a 1951 out of Denver. Roll 43, and the finds keep on coming. We got two more wheat cents in this roll, a 1955 Denver, and back here wheat cent number 2, and this one's going to be a 1941 out of Philadelphia. Roll 44, and we've just reached wheat cent number 30. And to top it off, it's going to be a 30s, a 1937 Philadelphia. It's another really cool find. We're running out of room on the board. Going to have to scoot this down a little bit to make room for a 30s find there. We got 6 rolls left in box 1. Very next roll, and we have another 40s find. This one's going to be a 1945 out of Philadelphia. Very next roll again, and we have another 40s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1944 out of Denver. Roll 48, and we have another double wheat cent roll. We got 2 of them. The first one's going to be a 1941 Philadelphia. And wheat cent number 2 is back here. It looks to be pretty nice. Most likely going to be a 50s wheat cent. And it sure is 1952 out of Denver. Very next roll, and we have another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1957 Denver. Well, that's it for box number 1. We got a total of 35 wheat cents from 1958 all the way back to 1937. That's a lot of wheat cents, but I'm really excited about box number 2 because we have a bunch of enders. We have a wheat cent ender right there, reverse showing. We have a 1957 ender right there. Another reverse ender right there. And in the very far corner here, we have our 4th wheat cent ender of this box. Another reverse one. So that is really exciting. Let's get started with roll number 1 and see if we can beat our record from the last box. First roll, box 2, and we're on the board early with a wheat cent. We have a 1951 out of Denver. Roll number 2 is going to do us one better. We got 2 wheat cents in this roll. A 1946 Philadelphia, and wheat cent number 2 back here. And that one's going to be a 1957 out of Denver. Roll number 5, and we have another 40s wheat cent, a 1946 out of Philadelphia. Roll 8, and we got 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1954 from San Francisco up front here in pretty nice shape. Wheat cent number 2 right behind. And that one's going to be a 1957 out of Philadelphia this time. Roll number 10, and we've got another one from the 40s. This one's going to be a 1944 Philadelphia. Roll number 13, and we have a really nice wheat cent here. It's also going to be a pre-40s, 1937 Philadelphia. Not every day you see one that nice from the 30s. Really nice reverse as well. That's awesome. That's almost definitely going to be an upgrader. Really nice coin there. It's our 3rd 30s wheat cent of the hunt so far. And we've got quite a few rolls left to go. Roll number 16 has our first wheat cent ender. So we got it right here. Let's see what the date is. And that one's going to be a 1958 out of Denver. We also have 2 other wheat cents in this roll. We have one right back here. And that one's going to be a 1942 out of Philadelphia. And the last one is right towards the end of the roll. And that one's going to be a 1946 Denver. Very next roll, and we've got another roll with 3 wheat cents in it. We have a 1951 Denver here, followed shortly after by a 1946 out of Philadelphia. And right behind that, wheat cent number 3. And that one's going to be a 1958 out of Denver. Roll number 18, and we have another 50s wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1953 out of Denver. Well, up next we have that other wheat cent ender, one of the other ones. This one looks kind of worn. Let's go ahead and try to open this one live if we can, and at least see what the ender is. Alright, here we go. And there's going to be 1951 out of Denver. Alright, I'll check the rest of this roll off camera, and if there's any more, I'll bring you right back. Well, that wheat cent ender was definitely not alone. We have 3 more wheat cents in this roll. We have a 1955 out of Denver. Back here, we have a 1944 out of Denver. And towards the back here, this one's going to be a 1952 out of Denver. 4 wheat cents in one roll. That is awesome. I've only done better once when I got 6 wheat cents in one roll. So that is really cool. Maybe we'll get lucky. You never know. We got 31 rolls left to go. On to the next one. Roll 21 in box 2. And we got 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1944 Denver. And back here, wheat cent number 2 of the roll. It's going to be a really nice one. And this one's going to be a 1953 out of San Francisco. Roll 22, and we got 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1953 out of Denver. And 1 more back here. This one's going to be a 1951, also out of Denver. Halfway point of box number 2, and we got wheat cent number 59. It's going to be a 1956 out of Denver. Roll 28 had that 1957 ender, so we got it here, and sure enough it's going to be a 1957 out of Denver. It's also wheat cent number 60. Roll 34, and we have another 40s wheat cent, a 1945 out of Philadelphia. Roll 36 of box 2, and we got 3 more wheat cents. We have a 1950 out of Philadelphia. Back here, this one's going to be a pretty nice one, 1946 Denver. And wheat cent number 3 is back here at the end. This one's going to be a 1944 out of San Francisco. Coming down to the final stretch of this hunt, we got 10 rolls left to go. And we got another 40s find, a 1944 out of Denver. Roll 41 had that 4th and final wheat cent ender at this second box. So we got it right here. Let's go ahead and flip it together and see what the date is. And that one's going to be a 1957 out of Denver. Roll 42, and we have 2 more wheat cents. We have a 1944 Philadelphia, and a wheat cent back here. And this one's going to be a 1951 out of Denver. Very next roll again, and we have another wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1946 Denver. Very last roll of the hunt, and we got 1 more wheat cent. This one's going to be a 1951 out of Denver. That puts our grand total up to 70 wheat cents through 2 boxes. That is awesome. Averaging a total of 35 per box is way above average. Give me just a second to wrap all this up and get it all sorted out, and we'll be back with a wrap up. Well, we're back with a wrap up, and we had a lot of finds today. We had 58 S-Minute Memorial cents. We had 7 foreign coins, with one being a 63 Young Head, a 45 King George VI, and that Bahamas coin from 1977. We also had 8 shiny copper cents. We had 41 50s wheat cents, 26 from the 40s, and 3 from the 30s. One was a 1938 Philadelphia, and 2 1937 Philadelphias. This 37 Philadelphia up front here is actually going to be an upgrader for the book, so let's go ahead and do that one now. Well, there we have it, the 1937 Philadelphia, the one we got today, and the one that was in the book. So we'll swap those two out, and that's going to be our only upgrade for the hunt. We got 70 wheat cents though, and I appreciate anyone who was able to bear through 70 wheat cents worth of finds. It's probably been quite the long video. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.